Welcome to our final session together. Over the past 2 sessions, we've learned about coherence, heart-brain connection, and specific techniques for difficult moments. You now have tools that can genuinely change your life. Heart-focused breathing for any time, prep for before difficult situations, shift and reset for when you're triggered, and attitude breathing for changing chronic patterns. But here's the truth, and I'm going to be honest with you. Having tools isn't enough. We all know this from experience. How many times have you learned something helpful and then, a few weeks later, stop doing it? You go back to old patterns because they're familiar, even when they hurt you. Maybe you've tried therapy before, and it helped for a while, but then you stopped going. Maybe you've tried meditation apps and used them for a week, then forgot about them. Maybe you've made New Year's resolutions that lasted until February. Maybe you've started exercise programs, new diets, stress management techniques, and they all faded away. This isn't because you're weak or undisciplined. This is because change is genuinely hard, especially when you're already exhausted, already overwhelmed, already carrying so much. Today we're going to talk about the hardest part, actually doing this every day. Not just when you remember, not just when things are bad, but making this a part of your life, sustainable, realistic, and supported by your community. We're also going to talk about something deeper, how collective healing works, how when you heal, you help heal your family. Your family's healing helps heal your community. This isn't just about you, it's about all of us. Let me be honest with you about what usually happens after a training like this. Week 1, you're excited. You practice every day. You notice differences. You feel hopeful. You think, this is it. This is what I needed. Week 2, life gets busy. Work is demanding. Your kids need you. Bills need paying. You practice a few times. You miss some days. You tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. Week 3, you only practice when you remember, which is maybe once or twice. The techniques are starting to feel like one more thing on your overwhelming to-do list instead of something that helps. Week 4, you've mostly stopped. The old patterns are back. You feel like you failed. Again, this is called the fade factor, and it's not your fault. This isn't because you're lazy or weak. This is because your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do. Return to what's familiar. Remember, your old patterns, the anxiety, the reactivity, the emotional flooding, these are deeply carved neural pathways. Your brain has traveled these paths thousands, maybe tens of thousands of times. They're like highways in your nervous system. Fast, automatic, easy. The new practices are like little dirt paths in the forest. Your brain has to work hard to use them. It takes conscious effort. It feels awkward and unnatural at first. And when you're stressed or tired, your brain automatically goes back to the highway, the old pattern. Here are the real reasons practices fail, and I want to name them honestly. I don't have time. You're working multiple jobs, taking care of family, dealing with immigration issues, handling discrimination, trying to survive. A 20-minute practice? That feels like a luxury you can't afford. And I understand. Time is scarce when you're in survival mode. This is real, not an excuse. I'm doing this alone. You learn these techniques, but nobody around you is practicing. When you try to talk about it, people don't understand. They think you're being weird or too sensitive. You feel isolated in the effort, so you stop. It didn't work fast enough. You practiced for a week and still got triggered and yelled at your kid. So you think, this doesn't work, and give up? You expected quick fixes for trauma that took years or decades to create. The pain is too big. Sometimes when you start calming your nervous system, buried pain rises up. Memories surface. Feelings you've been avoiding come forward. This is actually part of healing, but it feels like the practice is making things worse, so you stop. I don't know who I am without the stress. Your stress and survival patterns have been part of your identity for so long. Anxiety, hypervigilance, anger, these feel like who you are. Letting them go can feel like losing yourself. Who are you if you're not always on guard, always ready for the next crisis? Every single one of these obstacles is real and valid. I'm not going to tell you to just push through or try harder. Instead, let's talk about how to work with them, not pretend they don't exist. Here's what sustainable practice actually looks like. Not perfect, not Instagram-worthy, just real and doable. Start ridiculously small. 3 minutes total per day, not 20 minutes, not even 10 minutes. 3 minutes total, broken into 3 one-minute practices. Let me say that again because it's important. 3 minutes total. 1 minute when you wake up, 1 minute midday, 1 minute before sleep. You might be thinking only 3 minutes. That can't possibly make a difference. But here's what research shows. Consistency matters more than duration. 3 minutes every day for a month creates more change than 30 minutes once a week. Morning, 1 minute. Set your intention. Before you even get out of bed, before you check your phone, before you start worrying about the day ahead, do 1 minute of heart-focused breathing. Just 1 minute. And set one simple intention. Today, I'm going to notice when I'm triggered and try to pause before reacting, even just once. That's it. Don't try to fix everything. Don't try to be perfect. Just one intention. Midday, 1 minute, quick reset. Set an alarm on your phone for sometime midday, maybe lunch break, maybe when you're on the bus, maybe in the bathroom at work. Nobody needs to know what you're doing. Do 1 minute of heart-focused breathing. If you had a triggering moment earlier, use that minute for shift and reset. If you have something difficult coming up, use it for quick prep. If nothing special, just breathe and reset your system. This midday minute is crucial. It prevents stress from accumulating all day. It's like emptying a bucket before it overflows instead of waiting until water is pouring over the sides. Evening, 1 minute. Release the day. Before sleep, 1 minute of heart-focused breathing. Let go of what happened today. Don't review all your mistakes. Don't replay arguments. Don't plan tomorrow. Just breathe and let your system settle. This helps your body know it's safe to sleep. It helps prevent those 3 a.m. wake-ups where your mind starts racing. This is your foundation. 3 minutes per day, every day. Once this becomes automatic, and it will, usually in 2 to 3 weeks, you can add more. But for now, just these 3 minutes. Make them non-negotiable, like brushing your teeth. Then add in-the-moment practice. The real practice isn't just the 3 scheduled minutes. It's using the techniques when you need them. Before talking to your boss, 30 seconds of prep. After someone says something hurtful, 2 minutes of shift and reset. When anxiety rises at 3 a.m., heart-focused breathing until you can sleep. Before disciplining your child, quick heart focus to respond instead of react. These in-the-moment practices don't replace your 3 daily minutes. They're in addition, but they're not scheduled. They're responsive. They happen when life happens. Track it simply. Don't use complicated apps or journals. Just put 3 check marks somewhere each day. Bathroom mirror, phone wallpaper, notebook, wherever you'll see it. Morning minute, midday minute, evening minute. That's all. Seeing those check marks builds momentum. Missing a day? Start again the next day. No judgment, no, I've already ruined it. Just start again. Practice with others. This is crucial. Find at least one other person learning these techniques. It could be a family member, a coworker, someone from your church or community, someone else who took this training, an online practice partner. Check in daily, even just a text. Did you do your 3 minutes today? I got triggered at work, but remembered to shift and reset. Struggling today, can you remind me why we're doing this? This accountability changes everything. When you know someone is going to ask, you're more likely to do it. When you can share your struggles, it feels less lonely. If possible, teach your family. Show your children heart-focused breathing. Kids learn this easily and love it. Practice together before bed. Make it a family thing. When they're upset, remind them, let's breathe together. When you're upset, tell them, Mommy needs to breathe for a minute. You're teaching them that emotions can be managed, that taking a pause is strength, not weakness. Your children watching you regulate your emotions is one of the greatest gifts you can give them. You're breaking generational cycles of trauma. You're showing them a different way. When obstacles come up, and they will, here's how to handle them. I don't have time. You have 1 minute. Everyone has 1 minute. You spend more time than that scrolling on your phone or staring into space when you're overwhelmed. Make these 3 minutes as non-negotiable as eating or going to the bathroom. It's not working. Are you expecting to heal decades of trauma in 2 weeks? Healing isn't linear. Some days will be harder than others. The question isn't, did I feel perfect today? The question is, did I pause even once when I usually wouldn't have? Did I recover a little faster than I used to? Old pain is coming up. This is actually a sign the practice is working. Your nervous system is finally safe enough to process what it couldn't before. This is hard, but it's healing. This might be when you need to talk to a counselor or therapist, someone who can help you process what's surfacing. The techniques help regulate your nervous system so you can do that deeper work. I don't know who I am without the stress. You're discovering who you actually are underneath the survival patterns. This can feel strange, even scary. That's normal. Keep going. Your true self is under there, waiting. Now I want to talk about something that might change how you see this practice. This isn't just about you getting calmer or less anxious. This is about collective healing. Remember from our first session, your heart produces a magnetic field that extends about 3 feet from your body. That field carries emotional information. When you're coherent, calm, centered, connected, that field helps others around you become more coherent. When you're incoherent, anxious, angry, chaotic, that field can trigger incoherence in others. Studies show that when even one person in a group practices coherence, others in the group become more coherent, even without knowing what's happening. Your nervous system literally affects the nervous systems of people around you. Think about what this means practically. When you come home from work in a coherent state instead of a stressed state, you literally change the energy of your home. Your children's nervous systems, which are naturally attuned to yours, respond to your coherence. They become calmer. They feel safer. Your partner responds to your coherence. Arguments are less likely. Connection is easier. At work, when you stay coherent in a difficult meeting, you're not just protecting your own well-being. You're creating a field that helps others stay calmer too. You're making it easier for everyone to think clearly and work together. In your community spaces, church, family gatherings, neighborhood events, your coherence contributes to collective coherence. You're raising the vibration of the whole space just by being there in a regulated state. Many of you carry trauma that goes back generations. Violence in your home countries, the trauma of migration and separation, poverty and survival stress passed down through families, cultural trauma from colonization and oppression, historical trauma that your grandparents, great-grandparents experienced. When you practice regulating your nervous system, you're not just healing yourself, you're breaking cycles. Your children won't inherit your dysregulated nervous system. They'll grow up with a parent who can stay present even in hard moments, who can repair after conflict, who models that emotions can be managed, who shows them it's possible to feel without being destroyed by feelings. This is revolutionary. In your family line, you might be the first person who learned to regulate their nervous system. You're the cycle breaker. You're the pattern interrupter. Your ancestors survived impossible things so you could be here. They endured so much. They carried so much pain. They did the best they could with what they had. Now you're learning to thrive so your descendants can flourish. You're doing what your ancestors couldn't do because they didn't have these tools, this knowledge, this safety. This honors them. This completes their journey. Imagine if 5 people in your workplace practice these techniques. The whole environment shifts. Conflicts de-escalate faster. People collaborate better. Stress is less contagious. Productivity increases. People actually want to come to work. Imagine if 10 families in your neighborhood practice. Children grow up in calmer homes. Community gatherings feel safer. People support each other better. The whole neighborhood becomes more resilient. This is how social change actually happens, not just through policy and activism, which are crucial, but also through millions of individual nervous systems learning to come out of survival mode so we can think clearly, connect authentically, and work together effectively. Your role in this: every time you pause before reacting, shift and reset after being triggered, prep before a difficult moment, or choose a higher vibrational response, you're not just helping yourself. You're contributing to collective coherence. You're adding to the field of calm instead of the field of chaos. Many Latino cultures already understand things that Western psychology is just discovering. The importance of El Corazon, heart wisdom, the power of juntos, healing and community, familia as the foundation of resilience, the value of faith and hope even in darkness. These practices aren't asking you to abandon your culture. They're giving you scientific tools that align with what your culture already knows. The heart is wise, we heal together, and hope is a practice, not just a feeling. Now let's create your specific plan. I'm going to ask you some questions. If you can, pause the video and write down your answers. This is important. Don't skip this part. Question 1. What do you hope is different in your life 6 months from now if you keep practicing? Be specific. Not less stressed, but I don't yell at my kids every day, or I sleep more than 4 hours consistently, or I can have difficult conversations without shutting down or exploding. Write that down. This is your why when the practice gets hard. When you don't want to do it, when you're tired, when you forget, this is what you come back to. Question 2. What is your biggest obstacle to practicing consistently? Be honest. Is it time? Forgetting? Feeling discouraged when you don't see immediate results? Being alone in it? Old pain surfacing? Identify the real obstacle, not what you think you should say. Question 3. What's one realistic way to address that obstacle? If it's time, commit to only 3 minutes daily. That's genuinely all you need to start. If it's forgetting, set 3 phone alarms with labels: morning breath, midday reset, evening release. If it's feeling alone, Find one practice partner today. Text someone right now. If it's old pain, connect with a counselor or support group who can help you process. If it's discouragement, focus only on today. Not this week, not this month, just today. Question 4. Who is one person you can practice with or who will support you? Name someone specific. Not my family, but my sister Maria or my coworker Jose. Ask them today, right after this video, if they'll check in with you daily about practice. Question 5. When exactly will you do your 3 daily minutes? Be very specific with times. Morning. What time? Right when you wake up? After coffee? Before leaving the house? Midday. What time? Lunch break? On the bus? In the bathroom at work? Evening. What time? Right before bed? After kids are asleep? When you get home? Write down the exact times. Put them in your phone calendar with alarms. Your commitment? Say this out loud with me. For the next 30 days, I commit to practicing 3 minutes daily. When I forget or miss a day, I'll start again the next day without judgment. I'm doing this for myself and for my children, my family, my community. Sign it. Date it. Put it somewhere you'll see it daily. This is a contract with yourself. Let me tell you what's possible. We've covered a lot in these 3 sessions. You learned that your heart and brain communicate, that your emotions affect your body more than your thoughts, that you can create coherence even in chaos. You learned specific tools, heart-focused breathing for any time, prep for before difficult moments, shift and reset for after you're triggered, attitude breathing for changing patterns. You learned that you don't heal alone, that your nervous system affects others, and healing is collective work. But most importantly, I hope you learned this. You are not broken. Your nervous system is doing exactly what it learned to do to keep you alive. These trauma responses that feel like problems, they once saved your life. They got you through impossible situations. They deserve respect, not shame. Now you're learning something new, not to eliminate those responses, but to have choice, to respond from strength instead of just reacting from survival. This journey isn't about becoming perfect or stress-free. Life will still be hard. Injustice will still exist. Trauma won't be erased, but you'll have increased capacity for presence, for connection, for joy, for resilience, for choosing your response instead of being controlled by automatic reactions. Start with 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes daily. That's how change begins. Not with grand gestures, but with small, consistent acts of self-care and nervous system regulation. And remember, every time you practice, you're not just helping yourself. You're contributing to your family's healing, your community's resilience, breaking cycles that have persisted for generations. You've survived so much. You've carried so much. Now it's time to put some of that weight down. Not all at once. Just a little bit at a time. 3 minutes at a time. Your heart is stronger than you know. Your capacity for healing is greater than you imagine. And you don't have to do this alone. Find your practice partner, set your alarms, start tomorrow morning, 3 minutes. When it gets hard, and it will, remember why you're doing this. Remember that every breath you take with intention is an act of resistance against the trauma that tried to break you. Every pause you create is a victory. Every time you choose to regulate instead of react, you're winning. You're not just surviving anymore. You're learning to thrive. And that changes everything. For you, for your children, for your community, for generations to come. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your openness. Thank you for your commitment to healing. May your practice bring you peace. May your healing ripple out to touch everyone around you. Go with heart. 3 minutes at a time. You've got this.